Alright, my dears, hello! My name is Shara and welcome to the stream! Hello there, Khan and Ben! Oh yeah, 9 is fascinating. I've really got to go back and play it again. I haven't played it. It was one of the first Final Fantasy games I played start to finish as a teen, and I love it so much. But I haven't played it in many years. I do own it for Steam though, so I might have to give it a replay sometime soon. And hi, Neurocon. I hope you're having a good night. Thank you for joining me, guys. We are gonna see how much story and whatnot we can chug our way through tonight. Let's see, what did I have going? Okay. That's right, so we had ended it here because I want to accept this new primal stuff from Urianger. It's my third Summer Fae, being so much older than when I first played. Aw, I'm glad. Yeah, I think there's a lot in some of the... 9 specifically that I think went over my head when I was younger. Steiner being angry with a teenager. So funny. Zidane's such a little shithead. Actually, in Final Fantasy XIV, they just released an outfit for Garnet. Yeah, 12 was also... Actually, I think 12 might have been my first one that I finished start to finish. Because it was more accessible to me at the time. And then my cousin let me borrow 9. And then I started... okay, let me back up. Final Fantasy VII was the first one I played. But my cousin only had the first disc, because a different cousin was borrowing the rest of it. So I didn't get to play past the first disc. So I didn't complete that game until college. Wait, no! I'm sorry, I'm all over the place tonight. 10 was the first one. Because Final Fantasy X was my second PlayStation game. My first one was Kingdom Hearts. So 10 was the first one I played. At all, ever. Then I played the first disc of Final Fantasy VII. Then I played all of 12. Then I played all of 9. Just got to the part where Siren's dialogue options of an NPC that cause a trap. Don't kill. As an adult who has it. Yeah, no, that's very fair. Yeah, I think there's a lot in some of the older games that hit way differently depending on when you are playing them. As an actual adult, when I replayed 10, I was just looking at Yuna and some of the others and I was like, you guys are literal babies. You shouldn't have to deal with any of this. And I used to hate Titus. I hated him so much because I was like, you are an obnoxious bastard. And to a certain degree, I still don't like his attitude in many parts of the game. But I'm also able to now see him as the teenager he is. But okay, let's, I could stand here and talk about Final Fantasy games all day. So let's go ahead and play a little bit of this. Hello, Urianger. To tussle with gods. What? Rowena's token. Fun. Urianger wishes to introduce you to a means of acquiring superior arms. If thou art to weather these constant clashes against ever more potent primals, then thou must perforce arm thyself with extraordinary weapons. I have concluded negotiations with one Rowena, the merchant who doth abide in Revenant's toll. In exchange for the ritual objects thou hast collected, she hath promised to provide thee with a selection from her stock of unique armaments. Why would she consent to purchase these unsavory trophies? It is a very simple question of infamy. Certain of her clientele are like to salivate at the very thought of possessing such forbidden items. There are few who can lay claim to the ownership of a ritual tool employed in the summoning of a primal. There is no cause for alarm. Any power the objects once held has long since been surrendered to the summoned deities, and lest thou worry on my account, I glean from them what wisdom we require. I return to thee thy hard-won prizes. Hie thee to Revenant's Toll and Mordona, and see them swiftly into Rowena's hands. I love Urianger. He's such a nerd. Bear in mind, him speaking like this is a conscious choice. He's deciding to use the and thy because he likes it, because he's a giant nerd. My first one was a port of 6... Oh, American Nintendo Systems. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I always get confused with the 6 and the names. I never understood why they were different. Let's go ahead and pop off to Revenant's Toll. Oh yeah, I also, when I have a sec, I do also want to show y'all my room. I decorated my free company room last weekend. Oh shit! Okay, wait. I have... Okay. So at some point on stream, I'm gonna have to... Okay, I did write down a note for myself. As part of me unlocking the ability to make a free company room, I had to do a bunch of stuff off stream, which involved doing 3 different dungeons that I didn't do yet on stream. So I might just go through those tonight, just so you all get to see them. Let me go ahead and accept this while I'm thinking about it. Okay, actually, those should wait until after I... Y'all will not get the context, I think, until I do the first dungeons. Let's go ahead and take care of this first and stop distracting myself. Greetings, adventurer. So you're the one as hopes to trade some primal curiosities, are you? Urianger has guaranteed their authenticity, so why don't you let old Rowena here have a look at these ritual objects of yours? These were the ones from, the extremes of Garuda, Titan, and Ifrit. Carved from beastman bones, just like he described. Well, I'd be lying if I said these trinkets didn't make my skin crawl like a dire mite in my undergarments. In case you misunderstood, that's an expression of high praise, lass. My customers will be gutting each other in the streets for a chance to purchase your trophies. Show them to Lorena, my acquisitions officer, and she'll walk you through the transaction. Oh, that's right! I have to show you guys, I was able to, dye my chocobo. Now, the color change isn't very obvious in this light, but, so all chocobos start off as the regular desert yellow. And I changed, Nico here to a Keycurn brown. It's not very obvious in this light, it's more obvious in this light. Next to the pole, but yeah, he's a very light brown now, like a potato. So, subtle difference, but yeah. Gods damn you, Rowena! You promised me a life of excitement in the exotic lands of Mordona, and here I am stocking your shelves like a trained up. How may I help you, lass? Ugh. What in the 7 unholy hells are these gruesome things? Beastman ritual tools? You adventurers and your penchant for stowing the most disgusting souvenirs in your packs. Ugh. And that goes twice for Rowena for wanting to stock the stuff, and thrice for her addled customers for begging to buy it. Ugh, but that's neither here nor there. Whatever it is that drives you folks also fills my purse with coin. Now, were you seeking to trade for aught in particular? Ah, the special weapons we deal in, is it? Here, take a few of these tokens and you'll be able to exchange them for the arms you fancy. If you're one of those completionist types, then you'll no doubt want an entire armory of the things. Just bring me another set of those stomach-churning ritual tools and I'll see you rewarded with more tokens. Best hop to it. So yeah, you can exchange these. But it does require going through the extremes again, which I really don't particularly feel like doing. But let's see. Rowena's token exchange. So, what we can exchange these for are special weapons that, yeah, are related to the primals. Let's see, where is... This is the one that I can get for me. It's not a bad one. It's just not really worth getting right this second, so... Because my current weapon's actually stronger. But let's see, yeah, let's go ahead and do a little bit of MSQ. I did what did I title this stream? Something about the Ishgardians? Oh no, just punching gods in the face. Yeah, so I hope to do at least one primal tonight, we'll see. Well, like, I genuinely thought that Oriange's quest would unlock a new primal. Speaking of that, I mean... Give me a sec, sorry. This probably is not going to go through, but I might as well queue for it and see if it ever does pop. That's the Ultima, that hard mode Ultima. Hello, my childrens. Just so you know, my men have already started to arrive. Captain Ilbert always keeps a few braves at the ready in case of emergencies. Commander Leviere's assessment is most troubling. If he's correct, Iceheart now poses a threat to Ishgard at large. By what means do these heretics travel so quickly? We must know, or every attempt to apprehend them will be doomed to fail. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn wish to join the hunt for Iceheart. Your assistance is more than welcome, my friends. Considering the report I just received, I dare say your timing could be no better. We are all ears, Lord Drulimont. A band of pilgrims was seen transporting a large number of crates to the west. Their garb appears to match the description provided by the squire who survived the attack. Alas, our scouts lost track of them at Snowcloak, that selfsame frozen wall which we speculated might conceal the heretics' hideaway. Suffice it to say, the disappearance of these pilgrims and their provisions all but confirms our suspicions. I've heard enough. My knights will join the hunt. I took the liberty of summoning a unit of Crystal Braves to White Brim Front. Given the gravity of the situation, I trust you will agree that we must use every resource available to us. These are extraordinary circumstances, Commander. 'Twould be in our best interest to coordinate our efforts. Such was my intent from the start, Sir Emmerich. And so it begins, my friend. Though I dare say it will prove an all too brief collaboration, Iceheart will not elude the combined forces of the Crystal Braves and the Temple Knights for long. Nevertheless, a wise man does not wager all upon the success of a single solution. There may yet be subtler means by which we can locate the heretic's lair. Mayhap Lord Drulimont has one in mind? Ah, damn, no voice acting. Yes, yes, excellent. My lady, everything has been accounted for. If there is aught else you would have us do, pray speak, and it shall be done. see. Dark words, dark deeds. Ooh, I get bacon bread from this. Woo! Only the naive place of I'm sorry. Only the naive place all their hope in the success of a single solution, and Lord Dilemma is anything but. It seems as though we are always one step behind, our quarry ever just beyond our reach. Though I would like to believe that the tables are about to turn, I must confess to having certain doubts. A joint effort may succeed where others have failed, but it could yet yield the self-same result. Fortunately, we are not without other options. I trust you haven't forgotten in quest of Guillaume? We have not. The mystery of how the heretic remained undiscovered for so long has been much in our thoughts, as has the question of what steps might be taken to prevent a similar breach of security in the future. Accordingly, we conducted an exhaustive and covert evaluation of everyone in Brightbrim Front. Though some were found to have committed certain minor transgressions, we identified only one possible heretic. If this man has pledged himself to Iceheart's cause, he will have taken note of the movement of the Temple Knights and the Crystal Braves. And upon recognizing their intent, he may attempt to warn the heretics. The man's watch is to end soon, at which point he must report to Ser Jean Tremont in the yard. I would have you keep an eye on him. If he ventures beyond the walls, follow him discreetly. Should he meet with a heretic, do not interfere. Simply watch and listen. I have seen to it that the suspect knows nothing which could endanger our plans. The Third and the Temple Knights have begun their search. All that remains is to wait. Sending his forces to wipe in front prior to his own arrival. Your commander is certainly decisive. See how the skies darken. Even the weather is against us. And down we go. I'm just a potato. Don't look at me. Where are you going, sir? The suspected heretic leaves through the southwest gates. Ooh, what am I doing? Yeah, this is sure not to catch anyone's attention. The suspected heretic follows the road east. Oh, nope. I am behind a tree. You cannot see me. He can head south. Hey! Hey! Where in the seventh hells are you? I'm freezing my bollocks off here. I'm here, you blundering oaf. Why are you late? Standing on the wall, why else? I have duties to fulfill, you know. Your sole duty is to the... Bloody echo. Lower your voice or they'll hear us in White Room Front. Yes, of course. The Temple Knights are... Snowcloak. This is what you bring to me? We already knew about... Our comrades in Boulder Downs will use the tunnels. We can do dead before they know what's happening. Nevertheless... if you waste my time again, is that clear? You guys are not very good friends, huh? I am Pachu. Well, their intuition was well founded. Oh, never mind, this is not the correct door. I love this person's name, Malice Palace. Well, did your investigation bear fruit? I see. I shall have the man detained at once. His guilt is plain. Would that you could have heard their words more clearly. Yet, the few snatches you were able to make out were nothing less enlightening. It would seem the heretics are aware of our operations, and confident that they can thwart it. Their comrades in Boulder Downs are the key to their plans, which means it is the key to our plans. They'd be rooted out and put to the sword. Oh yeah, I got the bread. Bacon bread. Soft dough mixed with thick sliced bacon and twisted into a pattern resembling a sheaf of wheat. I've seen someone actually make this, and it looks really cool. First Blood. The allied forces at Snowcloak are in danger, and Lord Drillamont would have you assist him in ensuring their safety. Oh, I think I'm about to unlock a dungeon. We have long suspected that the heretics use a network of secret tunnels to traverse the highlands undetected. Given what you overheard, I fear that Snowcloak may be riddled with such passages, and that the heretics in Boulder Downs are planning to use them to take our forces unaware. Needless to say, we cannot allow that to happen. A contingency of House Durandare knights are on patrol in the area, and I shall order them to begin searching for the heretics at once. But knowing nothing of our enemy's numbers or readiness, I cannot say for sure that they will be sufficient. It would put my mind at ease if you would consent to assist my knights with the search. I know they would take courage in the presence of so storied a warrior. Pray rendezvous with them at Boulder Downs. If Helone is kind, we may catch those heretics before their plans come to fruition. Show them no mercy, Momo. The lives of our allies are at stake. Where's my son? No, princess, go away. Where's my son? He's not down here. Ah. Oh dear, the poor beans. I sense a hostile presence. Yes, indeed I do. Oi! I'm sorry, folks. You deserve better than that. Oh, wait, never mind. This is just, it's really cool looking what all the shards of Dalamud look like, I think. This one is actually one of my favorites that we see in this region, because just like, it's so round. It's really cool looking. Anyway. I'll stop being distracted. That's a lie. I will never stop being distracted. Sorry, Drillamont. My knight sent no word of your coming, Momo. What has happened? What is that in your hand? Discovered on the body of a slain heretic, this yellowing document is covered in a complex code of seemingly random letters and numbers. By the Fury! Those were veterans with years of service! And now they lay dead in the snow. Their bodies must be recovered and... No, we've not the men to spare. Not now. Not while Iceheart prepares to summon an abomination. The heretics you dispatched were not of sufficient numbers to contend with the combined strength of the Temple Knights and the Crystal Braves. There must be others, and I'll wager those they're on their way to Snowcloak as we speak. To make matters worse, it seems the traitor you followed managed to pass to the heretics something of value after all. The parchment you recovered is a timetable of the guardsmen's watches at our outpost on Snowcloak. The traitor was stationed there long before he aroused our suspicion. Would that we had caught him sooner. With this information, the heretics would know when the watch was weakest. They could use their tunnels with impunity and prepare their ambush. The timetable has not changed, you see. Of course it will be changed now, but the heretics may already be in position. House Durandare must send reinforcements, even if it means withdrawing knights from the Stone Vigil. I can see no other way to safeguard the lives of our allies. I can go beat him up. The path of the righteous. Lord Durlamont recognizes the situation at Snowcloak is coming to a head, and that decisive action must be taken. I'm sorry. The noise it makes when people land and take damage is so funny. Time is of the essence, Momo. While my knights make ready to depart, the heretics may take our allies in Snowcloaks unaware. Superior training and equipment will avail them not if they are cut down ere their swords are drawn. But all is not yet lost. If you leave now, there may still be enough time to warn them. Make haste, I beseech you. Fly to Snowcloak and tell Sir Emmerich everything we've discovered. Let's see. I go but you. Oh look, my beans. Gods bless whoever designed this uniform. I would have frozen to death by now if it weren't for this greatcoat. I'll point them out the next time I'm in a city, but for right now, you will see Crystal Braves stationed in the main city-states. Sir Emmerich, he's over there. Have words with the man if you must. We shall speak anon. We are at an disadvantage here. We should linger no longer than necessary. How could any man hope to tunnel through ice this thick? It would be the work of years. Momo, this is a welcome surprise. Perhaps the only one thus far. As you can see, we have yet to uncover any hidden... You have my gratitude. Truth be told, we suspected the heretics might be plotting such an attack. Now that we have confirmation, I shall place my knights on high alert. Has Commander Levior been informed? The braves must be made aware. But... Hun, what are you looking at? It must be here. I'm certain of it. Why else would they go to such lengths to defend Snowcloak? 'Tis but a pity that this discovery comes when our enemies has us at such a disadvantage. Forewarned though we may be, the heretics know the terrain far better than we. I dare not think how many are watching us at this very moment. Confound it! This is all wrong. Iceheart has us scrambling to save our own skin, so we should rightly be straining every sinew to find her and stop this damnable summoning. There she is! Come here, girl! That was close. They didn't hurt you, did you? Did they? Only my pride, Ida. There will be others nearby. We must see that they are given a similarly warm welcome. Commander Levier! There's been a development, sir. Together with the Temple Knights, we have secured the entrances to some half-dozen tunnels after spotting the enemy breaking the surface. But that's not all, sir. We think one of them may be important. Certainly, this heretics nearly flung themselves upon our swords to defend it. Ha-ha! Just as I suspected. Amongst this ward of tunnels lies the entrance to Iceheart's lair. Summon the others. We're going in. A moment, Alphino. The tunnel in question is barely wide enough for 2 men abreast. We cannot say with any certainty where it leads, much less what is waiting for us there. Furthermore, we have no way of knowing how many heretics are still lurking here on the surface. What if they were to converge on this point when we entered the tunnel? For all we know, we could be funneling our forces into a trap. I take your point. If the tunnel is indeed as narrow as you say, greater numbers would be more a hindrance than a help. Should we encounter difficulty, our own allies would become an obstacle to escape. Change of plans. While we rendezvous with Sir Emmerich and keep the heretics at bay here, you will go wherever that tunnel leads. If you find Iceheart at the end of it, do not let her escape. You venture into the unknown, so see that you're prepared for anything. I suggest you call upon your allies, though not too many, or Papalimo will sulk. We will hold the line, Momo. You may concentrate on the task at hand. God's what? Oh, already did that. Dialogue. The entrance to the tunnel, madam? It's just over here. Had we not seen the heretics breaking the surface, we would never have noticed it. Per Sir Emmerich's orders, we will stand guard outside. Please be aware that even should you encounter significant resistance, we cannot leave our post. Okay. Well, We're still lacking 2 healers and a tank for Ultima's Veins, so let's just go ahead and get ready to do this. Wait, no, shit, we can do it. I can do this with NPCs. Hell yeah. I'm always happy when I can do something with NPCs. Because as a DPS, the queues can be a little tricky. Oh, look at you guys! You're actually well outfitted now. Good for you. Silent Conjurer says it's breathtaking. And the Marauder says this is no time for sightseeing, my friend. I love that I do really much enjoy that these NPCs have a bit of personality. Ah, man, I love Spriggans. I'm sorry, guys. But you're kind of in the way. If you were less murderous, we wouldn't be having this talk. Did the heretics make camp here? Says the Marauder. This music being so calm is so at odds with the reason we're here. It's a polar bear. Why did the bear have a key? Door to silence. Well, that's rude. One deal. It's a big old snowman. I've got a stack of ice. Oh. Oh yeah, and I get frozen proper if there's 4 stacks of the freeze. Thaws, bloody balls, all that ice. Nah, I wouldn't think that's I just got a ring of casting, so... Which is good for casting, and not for DPS. Did that Gooba just jump out of a snowball? That was my question. He just... That was weirdly cute. I love Goobos. They're just big dumb guys with giant mouths. They're so dumb. I love them. Let's stay out of the, There we go, that's more like it. Ugh. Dudes, get out of the frostbite, please. Says the thaumaturge, why must the heretics reside in such bitter climes? Oh, hello! Guys, can you get out of the... Can you get out of the wind, please? My dudes! Okay, you know what? Bigger poles, come on, fuck it! Okay, I didn't mean for that big of a pull. Onward and upward. The Yeti! Oh god, these guys' designs are so fucking cute. Why you gotta be so cute? I know that the mechanics for this fight have something to do with the snowballs. I just don't rightly remember what to do with the snowballs. Whoop whoop whoop. Or maybe that's just on hard mode, I don't remember. Spin! Oh wait, I thought I could break it if I didn't attack in front of it. Whoop. Sorry, bud. Says the Conjurer, a snowball fight is not what I was expecting. And the Marauder said, aye, but nevertheless, we were victorious. The antique stuff, if I'm remembering correctly, can be exchanged for something else down the line. Alonzi! Well, that didn't work right. Wait, what? Why did OBS say I disconnected? No, my internet's fine. Well, that was odd. Can y'all see me? Am I still live? That was bizarre. My internet's just fine. Okay, OBS. You do you, I guess. Sorry about that. I have no idea. My internet's fine. Like, Final Fantasy XIV didn't have a problem. Well, that's weird. I've had issues in the past where it's like been having trouble with like buffering and, you know, the refresh rate hasn't been great, but I've never had it just drop me. Oh, yep, alright. I love the gators, their dumbass faces. Okay. Again? Wait. What? Okay. There we are. More of you weirdos. Oh, that's right. I forgot they can turn themselves into dragons. But I will say, the later we get into the game, and the more we learn about dragons, the weirder that is to me. The fact that they can turn themselves into dragons. I won't spoil it. Suffice to say, it's interesting. The dove Avis drops a finger of the apostate. Is it an actual fingy? Door to oblivion. Oh, we're fighting Fenrir, are we? Such a pretty design for this pupper, though. Well, that's pretty more cool. Legendary Whorehound. This is not a foe to be trifled with, says the conjurer. Oh wait, no, that's not the direction I wanted to go. Okay. Well, that was a mistake. That was stupid of me. Good job, dum-dum. Also, hello? All Stream Hub World, hello. Okay, let's give that another shot. And try not to die like a dummy. Therein does lie the problem with doing this with NPCs. If you go down, that's it, that's all. Nope, nope, nope. Heaven's word roar? That was an actual move? Okay. Oh no, that's the safe one. Fuck, I'm an idiot. The blue one is the safe one. I have to remember that. Woo! Sorry, Bupper. I think all of the loot I got that time was for casting classes. Well, no, yeah, I guess it was. Oh, wait,
The tales do not do you justice, warrior of light. Yes, I know who you are, and you know who I am. I was given the name Izel, but I earned the name Iceheart. This endless cycle of hatred, of bloodshed, of sorrow. You would see it continue, O noble warrior of light. I would not. I will not. I will bring an end to this war between dragon and man, no matter the cost. In time, you will come to understand that what we do for the greater good. For Eorzea, for Hydaelyn.
That took longer than expected. What news, Momo? So Iceheart is but a pseudonym. Not that it matters. That she managed to escape is regrettable, but from your description of that beast, you did well to come as close as you did. In any case, now that you have cleared a path, the Temple Knights can begin to survey the tunnels in earnest. Mayhap they will even find a route past the ice wall. Wouldn't that do wonders for their fight against the heretics? The Crystal Braves would certainly share the credit for it, too. 'Twill be praised, Momo. We may yet turn the situation to our advantage. Assuming we stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva, of course. Needless to say, our fellow Scions have not been idle. Minfilia and Urianger have been busy perusing the archives of House Vartan, gathering what information they can on Shiva. Which reminds me, if you're intending to trudge back to Camp Dragonhead to report on the day's event, don't. The antecedent should be here any minute. I can only assume some people enjoy subjecting themselves to this cold. Alphina, you wouldn't be as chilly if you wore actual clothes. This window on your side does you no favors. For the greater good. Though not given to small talk, Alphino can think of no better way to pass the time until Minfilia arrives. See, Alphino, someone's just for the weather. Antecedent. You come to us straight from the archives of House Vartan. I trust your time there was proved useful. Would that it had. Urianger and I scoured countless texts, but what we found was of questionable veracity. Accounts of Shiva's life and deeds are sparse and contradictory, only agreeing upon one point. She laid down with a dragon, the gravest of all sins according to Ishgardian faith. Yet in the eyes of Iceheart's followers, this was a holy act, the blessed union of man and dragon. How such a thing could even be possible is quite another question. Suffice it to say, I very much doubt that we will find a useful answer in the archives of House Vartan. Much knowledge that has been lost over the centuries, though in this case one wonders if it is by circumstance or by design. You say that Iceheart took a moment to plead her case prior to escaping, do you not? Viewed without prejudice, most would agree that bringing an end to the heart-endless war serves the greater good. I think Sir Emmerich may take issue with her methods. I do not care if a few stragglers manage to escape. Until the sappers confirm that a tunnel is safe, the men are not to search it. Yes, Lord Commander. You pursue your foes with less zeal than I expected, Sir Emmerich. Lest you misunderstand, I do not deny that our enemy has given us good reason to be prudent. I merely meant, you being a man of faith, that I expected a certain single-mindedness. After all, was it not by the will of Halone that your ancestors came to this land? Why they took up arms against the Dravanians? What would they have done in your position, I wonder? There are those who believe that the faith is a renunciation of free will, that unquestioning devotion is required of all those who would live a life in service to the Fury. Such righteous fervor may well serve a knight on the front line, less so a leader of man. We are all at liberty to interpret the scriptures as we will. I choose to believe that the Fury would value the lives of her followers over the deaths of her enemies. But I would not presume to speak for the Knights of Eld. 'Twas a different time, nay, a different era, and scripture tells us only so much. Would that it told us more. The man is awfully pragmatic for a servant of the Holy See. A welcome trade at the negotiation table, to be sure, less so when one's enemies are making ready to harness the power of a god. Mayhap he does not truly believe that Iceheart's plan can succeed? Truth be told, I too remain somewhat skeptical. Shiva was real, a living, breathing woman. Of that there can be no doubt. In this respect, she differs from every other figure to have been summoned, each of whom was worshipped as a god. The sole exception being good King Mogomog the 12th, the mystery made manifest in response to a fervent supplications of the Mogulsguard. Saint Shiva may be different, but where the heretics? They are a tribe of outcasts at war with a mighty nation, who yearn for the resurrection of one who embodies their beliefs. If that is not placing one's faith in a higher power, then what is? Crystals and conviction, Minfilia. They have them both in abundance. Can that truly be all that is required? My survey team has concluded a preliminary analysis of the aetherite Iceheart used to escape. They believe that she teleported to another aetherite, somewhere not too far to the west. Also, I'm sorry, my dudes, this ad's about to pop in 15 seconds and I can't delay it anymore. Despite the apparent proximity of the second aetherite, however, they have been wholly unable to detect its presence directly. Unless Iceheart has some means to mask its signal, I can only presume that she had it destroyed to prevent us from following her. Without the means to teleport as she did, we have no choice but to search for an alternate route, most likely a tunnel, assuming one exists. Let us not give up on teleportation just yet. One of our colleagues in Charlian may be able to assist us. I pray that you are right. Excuse me. I did not think how long it will take us to survey the entire tunnel system. While Minfilia looks into our aetherite problem, I would like to request your assistance with another matter. The third unit is currently tracking the remnants of the heretic force which attacked us. However, the search goes poorly despite our numbers. Kurthus is fast, and Iceheart's followers know its terrain far better than we. Your knowledge of this region may serve to hasten the process. The sooner we capture Iceheart's followers, the sooner we can press them for their leader's whereabouts. Although it is admittedly a selfish request, I feel my braves would also benefit immensely from working alongside you. While we've had our share of veterans, we also have more than a few less experienced recruits, many of whom look up to you, in case you were not aware. Good. I knew you would understand. Yuyuhase can apprise you of the details. When the task is complete, come and find me at the Observatorium. Captain Ilbert and I are meeting there to discuss the latest developments in his investigation. The Temple Knights shall hold Snowcloak in our absence. Let us leave them to their work. Ours is more pressing. Well, that ad is a-goin'. And mostly is sitting on Nico to stop his timer from going down from having summoned him. Sorry, I'm just reading some stuff while waiting for this ad to end. Welcome back, my dudes. Sorry about the ad break there. Running them once an hour lets us avoid them for the rest of the time. But okay. There you are, Momo. Commander Levier instructed me to wait for you. Your assistance is most welcome, believe me. Most of the Third hail from Ul'dah, and for a man accustomed to the feel of sand beneath his boots, the crunch of snow can be rather disconcerting. But to the matter at hand. Nearly a moment ago, I received word that the heretics we seek have been spotted making for Denifin Pass. My braves are already in pursuit, and I should be grateful if you would join them. I myself should be taking part in the hunt. Never let it be said that I do not earn my coin. So Momo is also a Dunes folk Lullafell, meaning she's one of the folks that does hail from the desert region. And I do strongly say that's part of her backstory. I had to go off pape. Yeah, no worries. Junior puppers need a little bit of attention. And all you missed was an ad break, Ben, so you're good. Also, I hope you gave some good squishes to the little junior. Those balls, my ankle's on fire. Caught my boot on a rock or something and twisted as I fell. Sounds like how I broke my leg. The others went on ahead through Denifin Pass. Hurry, you might catch up. If you aren't sure where to go, look for the tracks. The snow is fresh, so they shouldn't be hard to find. Oh. Can I... I guess, yeah, I don't think I can go under. I think over. I think I do have to go through this. So that, I'll summon it in a bit to give you a, here, let me summon it so you can see, get a better look, because it's a fat cat. He's a kitty. A little chonker of a Kit Kat. It's many orbs, yes. It's so good. It's one of my favorite mounts. Scion, what are you doing here? It looks like a piggy bank, but a cat. I love it. Exactly! There's a mount later on that actually does look like a piggy bank, and its ears are pigs. Or, it's a pig. And its ears are, its wings. It's so fucking cute. Scion, what are you doing here? The heretics? I'm not sure. There was a great scaled beast, and... Yuhase? I think he went east on his own. The heretics split up, so did we, too. Need to look that up. Yeah, actually, I will try to... Here. Let me see if I can't find the name. Oh yeah, it's called a Porksy. And they're in one of the later expansions of the game, Shadowbringers. How embarrassing. I was so intent on following the heretics' tracks that I almost failed to notice they had doubled back. Almost, mind you. One tried to sneak up behind me and got a knife in the gut for his troubles. I thought myself alone, so I started searching the dead man's knapsack for anything of interest. And lo and behold, before his friends found me, I came upon this. Withdrawn groups of 3 or less to the observatorium. Give the signal and wait. The merchant will be watching. Be late or be left for dead. Speaks for itself, does it not? They can't possibly mean to rendezvous inside the place, so we should restrict our search to the surrounding areas. Let me rephrase that. You should restrict your search to the wilderness around the observatorium. I'll need more than a moment's rest to recover from these wounds. Quickly, Momo, quickly! I will inform Captain Ilberd of the heretics' plans, but you must make sure they don't escape before reinforcements arrive. Let's see. Suspicious Curthin. I'm through with listening to your excuses. We leave now. How? The woods are crawling with those blue coats, and the knights are searching every wagon that passes through the gates. Sip. Well, stay with her if you think you fare any better. Now, there's no need for that. There are places like this in my homeland. Sacred snow-capped peaks where blood must not be shed. Your lands ever thirst for the blood of the fallen, and by your deeds it is drunk deep. No, I've done no wrong! None but meet in secret with heretics. Deny it all you will. We shall have truth from you yet. Inquisitors are not the only ones skilled in the art of interrogation. Damn it all. Fancy meeting you here, Momo. I presume your work with the Third brought you hither? What a tangled web. Lest you wonder, we came not for the heretics, but for the merchant who's been conspiring with them. He came for our attention during the course of our investigation into the Ivy. It beggars belief, I know, but it seems our favorite Garlean spy may have been providing assistance to Iceheart. Were it not for the efforts of Lady Ugodi and her shinobi, we might never have discovered this connection. Master Alphino is too kind. I fear my people and I have done little to aid your search for this spy. We long to strike back against the Empire and weaken their influence in this land, to prevent the tragedy which befell Doma from reoccurring. The days ahead and the work they promise will require a very particular set of skills which I am fortunate enough to possess. If you will allow it, I would accompany you until the investigation is complete. That's a most generous offer, Lady Ugidi, and one which I will gladly accept. Thank you. Though I may disappear for a time, know that I shall never be far, and shall always be watching. A comforting thought. Come, Momo, let us wait inside for Captain Ilberd to return and deliver his report. Let's see. Oh, there we are. Captain Ilbert seemed confident that the merchant's resolve would swiftly crumble when pressed. If so, we should have new information ere long. As to whether or not it will bring us any closer to learning the Ivy's identity, I would rather not say. Given our adversary's cunning, I shall consider us fortunate if we are spared another wild dodo chase. The gods know I have more than enough to copy. The gods know we have more than enough to occupy our time as is. Oh, that's right! I forgot how Okay, so this suit of astral mail we get, I used this as a glamour for a long time on my other potato. I forgot this is where we get it. Tendrils of intrigue. Alphino is eager to hear Ilbert's report on the Ivy. Captain Ilbert, your report, if you will. Aye, Commander. Firstly, with regard to the heretic we captured, I regret to say that the man could tell us naught that we did not already know of Shiva. We have since handed him over to the Ishgardian authorities. Henceforth, the Holy See will pursue the matter independently. Our inquiries concerning the Ivy, however, have proven more fruitful. We have ascertained the channel by which the heretics acquired their information on the shipment routes. Go on. You will recall the flame we first identified as being in the Ivy's employ. From him, we were able to trace a trail of conspirators, each taking us closer to his master. Alas, the trail came to an abrupt end. Fearing that the investigation had been compromised, we took the necessary step of detaining all suspects of conspiracy. There were 5 on our list, including a flame stationed at Revenant's Toll. The man's primary duty was to keep an inventory of donations from abroad, the particulars of which he would share with his benefactors, thereby ensuring that needs did not go unfulfilled. By virtue of his role, he was privy to the details of all shipments bound for the settlements. Needless to say, that included those originating from House Fortom. He knew the precise route the caravan would take, and he sold that information to the merchant. I think I can guess which one. None other, and with little encouragement, he soon confessed to knowingly aiding and abetting the heretics. Well, that is one mystery solved, at least. But what of the Ivy? Are we any closer to prizing off his mask? I dare say we are, Commander. Our relentless pursuit has forced him to commit a grave error. In a desperate bid to cover his tracks, the Ivy resorted to exercising certain administrative powers available only to high-ranking members of the Immortal Flames. If you consider, then, that our investigation is known to barely a handful of them, the field of suspects is greatly narrowed. You mean to say that the agent is among Raoul Bond's innermost circle? Someone who has been with him since the Immortal Flames' establishment? 'Tis the most plausible explanation. The infiltration likely occurred during the company's founding, with the groundwork for the act being laid beforehand. To slip into a position of authority unremarked and remain above suspicion all these years. Aye, I too was surprised, though I should really not have been. Of the 3 grand companies, Ul'dah was ever the more vulnerable to infiltration. Both Limsa and Gridania had long-standing armed forces that lent themselves well to the formation of the Maelstrom and the Order of the Twin Adder. To all intents and purposes, it was the same people, loyal ones, mind, under the same leadership. Only the banner was different. Not so the Flames. Ul'dah's military is made up of disparate orders, most of which were glorified mercenary companies that answered only to their own paymasters. Hardly an ideal environment in which to establish something as high-minded as a grand company. The difficulties Raoul faced when founding the Immortal Flames are well known. Even after he convinced his fellow syndicate members to share the cost, there remained the small matter of finding enough bodies to fill the ranks. Indeed, and given the pressing matter of the Imperial threat, that meant recruiting every passing sellsword. Amidst the chaos of its founding, it would have been child's play to infiltrate the company. A good deal easier than now, aye. The immortal flames have ever been caught between conflicting interests, the public and the private. Though the monitors ultimately agreed to support the organization's founding, 'twas not out of charity that they did so, but simply self-preservation. Had Nell von Darnus's ambitions been any less apocalyptic, you may be sure that they would never have risked supplying Raban with an army. 'Tis but a wonder that they did not attempt to extinguish the flames the moment the danger had passed. Returning to the present, even as we speak, our Doman allies are shadowing several high-ranking flames, any one of whom could be the Ivy. Desiring to deal a blow against the Empire, the refugees were eager to lend us their aid. I expect to hear from them ere long. Give me a sec. Sorry, I got a text from my roommate. Very good. Pray continue your investigation with the first. Meanwhile, have the second attend to the unrest. The third can join the fourth in inspecting crystal shipments. If they notice anything unusual, I want to know about it. If Shiva is summoned in like manner to the other primals, the heretics will be looking for further supplies. Understood, Commander. I shall send word to Sir Emmerich, informing him of our success in identifying the heretics' abettors. Hopefully the information will be of some use to the Ishgardians. It is time, Commander. Yes, I am aware. An emergency council of the Alliance leaders has been called. There have been developments in Garlemald, it would seem. As Commander of the Crystal Braves, my presence has been requested. I would have you accompany me, Momo. As the realm's stoutest champion, 'tis only meet that you be present for this discussion. Oh, and the antecedent has already given her consent, lest you worry. I'll start the Porksy. I want this animal so badly I don't even play the... No, that's completely fair, Ben. Sorry, just responding to a text, and now we're good. Upon the honor of the Crystal Braves, I swear that I shall not rest until the Ivy is unmasked and in chains. Like me, you are doubtless eager to conclude our business with Iceheart, but until another path to her sanctum is found, she will remain in our search. Minfilia and the Archons are sparing no effort to secure an alternate route. Until such a time as they succeed, I suggest we give some thought to the realm's other problems. I shall go ahead on to Gridania in readiness for the coming council. Meet me in Nofika's altar, and we shall make our way to the Lotus Stand together. And Pachu. Conjurer's Guild. Unlike Raban, politics is not my cup of tea. While you and the commander attend the council, I will attend to some business of my own. My thanks for coming, Momo. While you are ready, speak with the conjurer yonder. She will show us to the Lotus Stand. Excuse me. The Alliance leaders await you at the Lotus Stand. Will you be joining them now? Yes.
Change has come to the Garlean Empire, and we must discuss the implications.
The rumors are true, then? The War of Succession is ended?
It is. A new emperor reigns in Garlemald.
Who?
The birth and all too rapid expansion of the Garlean Empire is commonly attributed to the strategic brilliance of Solus Zosgalvis, yet he did not rule alone. Several members of the royal household also distinguished themselves during his reign. Nevertheless, it was the eldest son who stood to inherit the throne, until his most untimely passing.
I thought us fortunate when I learned that the Emperor had died without naming a successor.
Would that the Garlean Empire had died with him.
'Twas the grandson and his uncle who had the strongest claims, was it not?
Indeed, yet claims count for little without the power to assert them. High Legatus Varus Ye Galvus is a respected military leader, not so his uncle.
So young Varus has torn the crown from his uncle's grasp and taken his place at the head of the Empire.
Given the troubled nature of his succession, the new emperor will require time to seal his grip on power. Yet have no doubt but that he shall, for there are none left with strength enough to oppose him.
Since the success of Operation Archon, the remnants of the 14th Legion and the forces occupying Alamigo have done naught but fortify their positions. But you can be sure they'll be ready to march on us again, if their emperor gives the word.
When, not if. They say this Varus was so set upon Eorzean annexation that he spoke out against the Meteor Project.
Plainly, the new emperor's intentions are of great concern to us all. I propose that we set aside the Cartano dispute for the present, and discuss what measures the Alliance might take to prepare for a resumption of hostilities with Garlemald. Moreover, I move that we re-examine the question of how our former allies in Ishgard might be persuaded to retake their place at our side. Could Eorzea but stand as one, 'twould deal a grave blow to our enemies' ambitions.
Well, I suppose we should be grateful that they have finally acknowledged the inevitability of Imperial attack. Who knows? They may even do something about it. If only the leaders of Ishgard would follow their example and stop hiding behind their gates, praying for the coming storm to pass them by. But that is a discussion for another time. At present, I am more concerned by the fact that the Alliance's mooted preparations will be made known to the Garleans many moons before their coming. So long as the Ivy eludes our grasp, No secret is safe.
It will not have escaped your notice that the nations of Eorzea are no nearer to being of one purpose, despite their protestations to the contrary. Plainly, the threat of a resurgent Garlemald is not enough to stir them. And the reason for this? Deep-rooted mistrust among the citizenry. Their nation's leaders can come to all the understandings they like, but their unity means little and less to the common folk. Take the Lamensons, for instance. Though Admiral Mirwib outlawed piracy over a decade ago, foreigners still picture the nation as a haven for grog-swilling, wooden-legged cutthroats. In likewise, the Gridanians are mocked as hermits who talk to trees, and the Uldan scorned as swindlers who worship coin. Not that such sentiments are entirely without grounds, of course. Take that pillar of Uldan society, Telegiata Legi, for example. But that is besides the point. The fact is that people are wary of outsiders, whether they have cause to be or not. On that basis, one could argue that the conflict at Cartano is a necessary evil. Each nation has its own war-mongering faction that advocates for the acquisition of Omega. In order to placate them, we present them something resembling warfare, and thereby curb their appetite for full-scale conflict. But enough idle musing. Let us speak of a more pressing matter, the Ivy. Since we spoke of the Observatorium, Captain Ilbert has further shortened his list of suspects, and by happy coincidence, the one he deems the most likely candidate has lately come to Gridania. The hunt nears its end, Momo. All that remains is to corner our quarry. Seek out Ilbert near the Adder's Nest. He will give you the particulars. Should there be any developments in Kurthus, you may be sure that I will send word without delay. In the meantime, I wish you success in apprehending the Ivy. Judgment Bolt and Lightning. Wait, let me summon this, or let me accept this quest. Is this Ramu Extreme? Lieutenant Scarlet would ask your aid in investigating the resurgence of a primal. It is. Very well. Well, if it isn't the Slayer of Ramu, come to see me in the flesh. How fortunate that you should happen by. I was, in fact, on the verge of sending Runner to track you down. We've had some troubling news from the Sylphs of Little Solace. It appears that the Lord of Leven walks the Twelveswood yet again. From what I understand of the Elder Seedseer's explanation, your last encounter with the Primal was a relatively peaceful affair. There was a battle, aye, but one for which Ramu did not begrudge your victory. Why, then, has he returned to the forest? 'Tis you, Lieutenant Jigaimo, whom fate has chosen to uncover the answer to that question. It seems that Frixio, the Sylph Elder, would discuss the matter with you personally. Speak first with Alexia and Little Solace, and she will announce your arrival to the Elder. And I'd also consider it a favor if you could pass along what you learned to the Scions. As I understand it, Archon Urianger is a keen scholar in the field of all matters primal. Pray make your final report to him. Let the hunt begin. I think this unlocks the hunts. One man's scourge is another man's chance to splurge, and Lieutenant Scarlet can help you find a reason to this rhyme. Glory hounds such as yourself will be pleased to have this news from the powers that be. The Eorzean Alliance has established a new system known as the Hunt. We never lack for creatures and men that disturb this sylvan serenity. Henceforth, these miscreants shall be marked for felling, and whoever deals the blow shall collect a reward. 'Tis a bounty system, when all said and done. The Alliance makes much of this joining of sword hands, while allowing rivalries to go unchecked elsewhere. Small wonder that some see a bent branch, while where we claim a bough true and proud. But these are matters for our betters to ponder. For now, you may serve by offering the hunt your considerable talent for slaughter. The bounty is rich, and you stand to gain much for your services, but don't take my word for it. Speak of the hunt Bill mastered to learn the rewards and other such tasks. So, by participating in the hunts, you get the hunt marks that you can exchange for things that are not available through any other means. There's a lot of rare seeds and other stuff like that. Here to join the hunt, are you? Excellent, excellent. I'll get right to the explanation. First things first, you'll want to take a look at this hunt board. There are bills for all sorts of marks here. There are two types of bills. Kinds of bills. The kind for regular marks and the kind for elite marks. The second of these are the more notorious sort. Before you go after one of them, I recommend that you consult a hunter scholar. These people are veterans of the hunt who can recite the rhymed-out codex by heart. Once the hunt's done, you receive tokens called ally seals, which you can exchange for exclusive wares. If any of that gets stuck going down, you're welcome to come back and ask again. And again, no doubt. I can attend to any allied seals you like to spend as well. Woods will be done, Lieutenant. If I don't hear from you soon, I'll take it you weren't hunt material, or that a mark got the best of you. Oh, do cheer up. Better to die once than to live in shame. Yeah! So yeah, there's the daily ones and the weekly ones. The weekly ones, obviously there's just like a couple of them a week, but they give you a lot more seals than the dailies. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. My thanks for coming, Scion. Doubtless the commander has informed you, but we've unmasked the Ivy. From this point on, we must proceed with extreme caution. Oh, this is actually a rather nice glam, or piece. It would be a nice glam piece. And then... Why did that mission give me this? Haddock dip. A thick, salty dip made from a puree of haddock, raw egg, and mashed potatoes. A favorite of Roganin tribes hailing from the North Seas. I mean, I'm guessing that that's... Almost all of these recipes in-game are tied to real-life existing recipes. Chasing Ivy. Wilbert is convinced that he's discovered the Ivy's identity and is preparing to move against the Garlean spy. Listen well. The spy we've been seeking all this time is none other than Flame Marshal Aline Royale. Royale. Robon's second in command. Prior to joining the Immortal Flames, she was the mercenary of no small renown. They say her skill with a polearm has to be seen to be believed. Of Ishgardian birth, she's the highest ranked foreigner in the Immortal Flames, barring the Flame General himself, of course. When he formed the Grand Company, Robon chose people based on their worth. Whence they hailed was of no interest. The Monterish saw things differently, however. Having funded the enterprise, they reserved the right to reject candidates nominated for high-ranking positions. And 'twas no secret that they did not favor foreigners, Ishgardians especially, after the way the Holy See forsook the Alliance. Yet the Monterish did not raise so much as a murmur of protest when Royale was appointed to her post. Passing strange, is it not? Could it not be that the Ivy has some hold over the Monterish? But these revelations are second to our current mission. Of foremost interest to us is her presence here now. As you may be aware, it is the duty of the Flame Marshal to command the Immortal Flames in the absence of the Flame General. While Robon attended the Council of Alliance Leaders, she should have remained in the Hall of Flames. The woman has no business being in Gridania. Yet here she is nonetheless, on some pretense. She's up to something, mark my words. Even as we speak, I have a dozen men trawling the Flame's wreckage for evidence of Royale's guilt. But if we can catch her red-handed, we should have all the proof we need. Which brings me to the plan. I have people watching the city gates, the airship landing, and the docks. Every point of egress. She cannot leave without our knowledge. All that remains is to shadow her until she betrays her true purpose. Can I rely upon your eyes, Scion? You have my thanks. Let us go, then, and take care not to alert our quarry. Royale is headed in the direction of the Blue Badger Gate. With me, Scion. I have a name, you know. So, Royale has entered the Carline Canopy. Meeting someone, perchance? Or could it be that she means to board an airship? Pray look for her within. If she is not on the upper floor, try the landing area below. One of mine is stationed there. She may have seen something. Ephemi is her name. I shall remain here in case Royale appears. Momo Chigaimo? Such an unexpected pleasure. What brings you here? A social visit, you say? How pleasant! No, she didn't come this way. I've noted every passenger, and none bore any resemblance. Well, don't let me keep you. Oh, actually, while I'm here. Okay, we're good. Nowhere to be seen, you say? And you're sure she didn't board an airship? She didn't come back out either. Where in the seventh house should she have gone? The roost! How could I forget? Greetings, good sir. May I interest you in some Muntoy tonic? A cup a day imbues a man with great vigor, if you take my meaning. Perhaps another time, friend. Wait. That necklace. You're a shinobi of Doma. The woman you seek has left Gridania by way of West Shore Pier. She was attired as a merchant, but these eyes are not so easily deceived. You may wish to take your search to the East Shroud. Rest assured that we should continue to support you from the shadows. Thank the 12 for the Domans. Were it not for their unique talents, Royale would have disappeared without a trace. Yay! Oh. Some of these are just really fun looking. Oh, look! I love this! Look how silly this is. Alas, none of these are for my class, and so I shall pass. I got more food. Triple cream coffee. Freshly roasted ground coffee beans, percolated to the perfect amount, or percolated to perfection and mixed with an equal amount of thick dairy cream. In flagrant delicto. Ilbert is eager to resume the pursuit of Aline Royale. Our hunt leads us to the East Shroud, Scion. I suggest we follow Royale's example and take the ferry from West Shore Pier. You doubtless wish to make certain preparations. See to them while I go on ahead. I shall wait for you at Sweet Bloom Pier. I think I need to get to East Shroud regardless. Yep, same area. Well, actually, while I'm here, let me go ahead and unlock the Ramu thing.
Walking One is here. Has Walking One heard of Lord Ramu's return? Then this one does not need to explain. Walking One should wait here while this one fetches Elder One. Walking One is most welcome in these one's home. The gentle sighs of wind and trees and brooks told these ones of Walking One's peaceful words with Lord Ramu. These ones also heard that Thunderous One challenged Walking One to battle. This one is certain that Lord Ramu is pleased with Walking One's strength. And such strength Walking One has. Arrow shooting ones often tell grand tales of Walking One, and these ones are glad to call Walking One friend. But this one must warn Walking One. Touch Ones have summoned Lord Ramu once more, and this time with an offering of many, many more crystals. This one does not think Thunderous One means to bring judgment to Gridania. After all, Lord Ramu made a special promise to Walking One. It is the actions of Touch Ones that concern this one. Touch Ones yet act in fear and in hate. Even should Lord Ramu ignore Touch One's destructive wishes, his presence alone drains the land of ether. It is not just Gridania, but the entire realm that Thunderous One threatens. Life will seep from soil, crops will wither and die. Then, though Lord Ramu will otherwise, Walking Ones will go to war over what remains. This one begs brave and courageous one to fight again. Touch Ones must understand that summoning Thunderous One is futile, that Thunderous One respects the strength of Walking One. Thank you. This one knew Walking One would do the right thing. Walking One knows how to visit the striking tree. Touch the aetherite found in the domain of Touch Ones, and Walking One will soon be face to beard with Lord Ramu. These ones will listen to the forest voices for news of Walking One's victory.
I do enjoy flying in the Shroud. This scenery is always really neat. Well, let's go ahead and get that started, shall we? In the meantime, MSQ. Actually, this ad is going to go pretty shortly here. I'm just going to go ahead and run an ad now while we're still waiting for stuff to happen. So hopefully it won't affect... Hopefully, what I mean is it'll be done for another hour. So it shouldn't interfere. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Oh my goodness, though. I wasn't expecting this to go so quick. Or there must be a full party that joined. We only need one healer and one tank. And I don't really want to do any dialogue until the ad breaks over, so... Let's see this description. Satisfied that the Warrior of Light has passed his trial, the Primo Ramu departs Eorzea for ethereal sea. His sylvan thralls, however, unconvinced that their territory is truly safe, have focused their deep-rooted fear and spite into summoning their god anew. Can you rise to the challenge and prove your might once again? Crackling with the vengeful energies of his children's prayers, the Lord of Leaven's judgment promises to be harsh indeed. Let me actually, while we're waiting... Let me take a look and see if I can get some instructions on how to fight this one. Sorry, I'm just reading through a quick description of the mechanics, because I'm probably not going to remember them. There's a lot to read here, and I'm not going to remember all that. But alrighty, now that the ad is over, I keep yawning. Sorry. Excuse me. This way, my friend. Oh wait, no, that's you, Goody. This way, my friends. Your quarry makes for the Hawthorn hut. If Royale is truly the one we seek, we can expect that she means to make contact with the Garlean masters there. An explanation is in order. You are no doubt aware that the Garleans have their own method of communicating over great distances. Well, our ingenious friends at Garland Ironworks have provided us with devices which disrupt these communications, and we've installed them around the city-states. In so doing, we made it difficult for Imperial agents to correspond with their masters. Royale would thus have no other choice but to rendezvous with her Imperial contact directly. Yet, as a well-known face in the Immortal Flames, she cannot move about Athanaland without being recognized. It would only be a matter of time before someone saw through her disguise. 'Tis for this reason, I believe, that she has chosen the Black Shroud for her clandestine meeting. The Elezen are a common sight here, and her comings and goings are not like to turn any heads. As my scouts tell it, the Garleans have sent agents with a mind to destroy the devices and render such direct contact unnecessary. Fortunately, our shinobi have thus far been successful in rebuffing their efforts. This is it. We need only make for Hawthorn Hut and catch Royale in the act. worries, Ben. Thank you for hanging out with me as long as you did. Do what you gotta do. Okay, we just need one more healer and one more tank, and we can punch it. We can do what I promised to do in the title and punch a god. Though in my case, less punch and more stab with a long stick. If Royale was here, she's no more. We have no choice but to continue the pursuit. My people report that our quarry has departed for the Bramble Patch. The Ivy returns to the Gnarls when she came, but perhaps it's all for the better. To convict someone of her standing, we will require damning evidence against her. What could be better than to catch her in the act when she meets with her Garlean master? My countrymen and I shall lie in wait in the shadows. Tread warily, my friends. Excuse me. There are many a yawn happen. Actually, this is the perfect lighting to show off Nico's new plumage. There we go. This is a little more clear. So, obviously, it's still a pretty light color, but he's no longer the bright yellow he once was. He's kind of an orange-brown. My goodness, sorry. Just beyond, Royale is in conversation with an individual clad in the manner of an adventurer, an imperial intermediary, no doubt. This is it. With me! Flame Marshal Aline Royale, you are under arrest for treason and espionage. You were followed, you bloody fool. Damnation. You are unarmed, my lady, and scarcely god for battle. But if you wish to fight, you're welcome to try. What's the meaning of this, Captain? Would you arrest me for strolling in the Twelveswood? When last I looked, that was no crime, and neither was conversing with passing strangers. You'd feign ignorance, then. Very well. If you think of something to say, there will be plenty of time to say it later. Now come quietly, or I shall make you wish you had. I will offer you no struggle. After all, I have naught to hide. Even a warrior of Royale's renown could not have hoped to escape by force. Despite her claims, her surrender does not speak innocence, but an awareness that her position is untenable. With the ivy thus unmoored, it is to be hoped that the tendrils she entwined around the immortal flames will gradually wither and die. Perhaps then the people of Ul'dah will have the grand company they deserve. But let us speak of the present. If I may ask, what will you do now, Momo? So the silence seek a way into Iceheart's sanctum. Then I dare say you are eager to return to the Rising Stones. Pray, do not let me keep you. Fear not. My countrymen and I shall tend to the aftermath. You need not waste your talents here. And speaking of talents, have you considered training in the art of shinobi? You have the aptitude for it, I believe. So please give some thought. Till next time, my friend. Okay, so I'll go... Okay, I'll go to Mordona. But while we have a sec, I want to show you guys my room at my free company. Or not mine, the free company I joined, or was rather was invited to. So this is actually, they have an estate in Shirogane, which is the estate available in the second expansion of the game, Stormblood. And I unlocked the ability over the weekend to have my own room. And if you remember, one of the folks when they invited me to the free company, or when I actually came to see what it looked like, somebody gave me 1,000,000 gil. So I spent it. So this is what I have set up for my room. I actually had a ton of fun decorating this. But yeah, I figured, like, the whole vibe of this is sort of desert oasis, because that is very much Momo's thing. So we got a comfortable reading area. I tried to keep all the all the furniture reasonable for a Lalafell, or as much of it as possible. Like, you know, a bookcase that's her height and whatnot. We've got a picture of our Gentleman of Light and his faithful assistant. Water and plants. A little dining area. A cooking area. I've even got a little a little stool so my potato can see off the floor. Got a nice little sink. And then we've got a hot tub. And a bed. But yeah, I'm actually really proud of how this turned out. I had a ton of fun putting it together. Housing in this game is a struggle, and figuring out what to do with a room is also a bit of a struggle. But once I found this this table here, I was like, okay, everything just sort of slid into place after that. Yeah, I can probably make some little changes to it here and there at this point, but I'm genuinely pretty happy with it. It feels very much good for my potato here. Also, I didn't mention this earlier because we haven't looked at her face much, but I added this to Momo's face, this little mark here. My other character, Keldred, also has a little mark on her face in the same area, a little tattoo, and I was like, in my head canon, they're cousins. So I was like, let's just give them something that matches. Let's go ahead and keep working in MSQ. I'm probably going to end a little around midnight. But I want to see how much I can get done before then. Ooh, do we have new dialogue? We do, because everybody's in different places, in different seats. A rousing tale of a comrade's valor. Truly, we are fortunate to count Lady Yugity as a friend. Thancred's tale of Lady Yugity almost beggared belief. My heart is fair fit to burst from admiration. Yes, but Higuri, you're missing the point. The individual doesn't matter. It was a team effort, and I was the one who... So Thancred's trying to boast. We got it. He's trying to impress the ladies. This is very in character for him. It's a battle of wills, a struggle for supremacy. Our fighting styles may differ, but this unyielding spirit is the same in warriors the world over. I got a little Hildebrand there, sorry. I must admit, this exercise of yours never fails to amuse me. While its movements appear comical, it does seem to be having a desired effect. Strength, Hori! On your onerous asylum, I forbid you to surrender. Whew! Harg! I cannot go on much longer.
I could do this all day! All day!
Yeah, you probably could. Like, she's a pugilist, so, Oh, man. Oh, man, that makes me think Yida would get along so well with Zack Fair. She cannot possibly be considering it. Life as a street performer should be on one's last resort, not their first. Tataru has grown beyond childish fantasies of becoming a songstress. Now she aspires to be a legendary street performer.
Steady, steady. Not bad, huh? With a little more practice, I could earn a fortune at the Ruby Road Exchange.
I'm glad you're having fun, hun. That is one thing I will say about Tataru. Like, she is always trying new things.
Welcome back, Momo. I understand that Alphino had a task for you? May I ask what it was? Charges of treason and espionage against Aline Royale. I could scarce believe it. Could there not have been some manner of misunderstanding? No, it avails us not to dwell on it. Whatever the truth may be, we must trust to the authorities to uncover it. Let us speak of another matter. I am pleased to report that we have made progress in our efforts to find a way into Iceheart's sanctum.
No, this is gonna get me bacon broth, is it? Though technically a soup, the Sixali dish consists mainly of larger slabs of smoked bacon boiled with several other lesser ingredients. I actually made this in real life because there was a Tumblr blog who was remaking all of the Final Fantasy XIV recipes in real life like 12 years ago. And I came across this recipe and happened to have the ingredients and I made it. And I wasn't even playing 14 at the time. And that's actually part of the fact that you can be a culinary in this game is part of what got me to start playing. A simple plan. Minfilia has never been one to hesitate when it comes to asking others for aid. As you may recall, Iceheart uses the aetheryte in the depths of Snowcloak to teleport a small distance to the west, most likely to a sanctum of some description. It is there that we suspect she means to summon Shiva using the crystal she stole from the Household Fortomp caravan. The heretics believe that they are bringing about the second coming of their patron saint, but if, as we suspect, they mean to hold a summoning ritual of the kind employed by beast tribes, it seems likely that the results would be something more akin to a primal. Suffice it to say, they must be stopped, and stop them we shall. But first, we must surmount the obstacle that Iceheart has placed in our path. Ordinarily, it would be a simple matter to tap into the established Ethernet, and thereby follow our quarry. However, despite our best efforts, we have been unable to ascertain the position of the aetheryte to which she teleported. Our prevailing theory is that she destroyed the second aetheryte upon her arrival, a reckless, desperate measure, but also an effective one. After discussing the matter at some length with Urianger, we have concluded that we lack the expertise to develop a solution. Which is why we have called upon the aid of one who does possess such expertise. A colleague of ours who is currently en route to Revenant's Toll from Charlian. She should be arriving within the hour, in fact. Since you're here, mayhap we could welcome her together. I'm certain she would appreciate the gesture. Let us make our way to the northern gates and await her coming. I forgot this is how we met this character. What manner of woman is she, I wonder? We have spoken before via Link Pearl, of course, but it's not the same. Well, that's right. Minfilia, unlike a lot of the other Scions, I don't think Minfilia ever... She was a member of the group of people that were not trained in Charlian. Because two different groups of people, like, sort of collectively met up to create the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. You had people from Eorzea and people from Charlian. Most of the Scions, especially like Urianger, Ystol, and them, were trained in Charlian, or got training from people from Charlian. I don't think Minfilia is amongst that number, but she does have allies there.
Minfilia, am I right?
None other. I bid you welcome to Revenant's Toll, and thank you for traveling so far on such short notice.
As if I could ever say no to Urianger.
Moonbreeder is an accomplished Charlian scholar, and an authority on aetherite technologies. She has played an invaluable role in our search for a means to capture Ascian souls.
Charmed, I'm sure.
I love Moonbreda. She's genuinely one of my favorite characters, and she has such a wide-reaching impact on the story. For an outpost in an ether-rich wasteland, this place is a good deal livelier than I expected. Just goes to show that you never know until you know. Let us return to the Rising Stones at once, then. We have much to discuss. I keep hearing something in real life outside my door. We're creeping ever closer to being able to start Heavensward. Is that Tupsamati on the wall back there? I'm amazed you managed to find all the pieces after, well, you know. So, Tupsamati was Louis Sua's weapon of choice, and is an extremely powerful staff. It basically shattered to pieces after Louis Soi did the spell that resealed Bahamut, and, you know, died in the process. And Louis Soi was Alphonse and Alice's grandfather, so they have a hell of a legacy.
Moon! Gods, it's been ages!
Oh, longer, sister.
Joyous reunion indeed.
Well, of course it is. Moon and I are like twin sisters.
Save in appearance and aptitude.
Goofballs.
Everyone, if I could have your attention. We have with us an esteemed guest who has come from Sharlayan to assist us. I bid Moonbreeder join us here that she might share with us her extensive knowledge of Aetherites. Also, as many of you are already aware, she has been overseeing our research into white auracite, a sample of which she has been good enough to bring with her.
Well, I had to come, didn't I? You'd have to be bloody daft to turn your nose up at a chance like this. Where better to conduct my final tests than a land so steeped in ether you can taste it?
'Tis plain the passage of the years hath done little to dampen thy youthful spirits. And nothing at all to reform thy youthful manner.
Oriange, where in the hells have you been hiding?
Unhand me.
I'm sorry, buddy. You don't have any dignity when Moonbread is here.
I come all this way, and that's what you have to say to me. I much preferred when you were pleading with me to drop everything and hurry to your side. What was it you said? None save thee can satisfy this need.
Go on.
Thine artless attempts to misrepresent mine all too innocent motives do thee little credit. Mine intent as...
Oh shit, I didn't mean to skip that.
You still haven't found it, then?
I hit the...
You're missing Aetherite.
I hit the clicker on it on accident, damn it.
We have not. No. We know that Iceheart teleported to an Aetherite not far from the first. Yet even after careful analysis, we could not locate the second beacon. We now suspect that the heretics destroyed the second Aetherite to impede our pursuit. Our allies continue to scour Snowcloak for Iceheart's sanctuary, but we have no guarantee that they will find it. Yet it must be found, for even now Iceheart prepares to call upon Saint Shiva.
I'm sorry, but if the Aetherite's been destroyed, then that's that.
By the way, I meant to mention this, but the folks that have a certain, the folks that are actually Archons in Sharlayan, they've taken certain tests, they've achieved a certain level of knowledge and like, just scholarly pursuits. They will have a tattoo like this. Specifically purple, specifically, you know, a design that's similar to this. And if you'll notice, and I'll point it out, most of the Scions have this on them physically.
Although, you're absolutely sure she used the first Aetherite, are you? She didn't just use teleportation magics?
One of our own bore witness to her escape. I can say with absolute certainty that Iceheart used the Aetherite.
In that case, there might be a way, so long as the ethereal current is still flowing.
Truly? How?
We use the current to recreate the beacon. As you know, Aetherites are a bit like lighthouses. We use them to reconstitute our physical forms when crossing the ethereal sea. Without them, we'd lose all sense of direction and our essence would dissipate. However, we don't rely solely on these beacons. There are currents of ether which flow between them, currents which help guide us to our destination. Now, these currents will gradually dwindle away to nothing if an aetheryte is destroyed. But if even a sluggish flow remains, we could theoretically use it to direct a surge of concentrated ether towards the void left by the beacon, and thereby fill it up again.
Like opening the floodgates to fill a dry riverbed. Though, correct me if I'm wrong, but would we not need a veritable reservoir of ether?
In concert, we might manage to channel a sufficient volume, yet that is not my chief concern. To direct the flow of so great a volume of ether with the requisite precision would be a nigh impossible task in itself.
I barely succeeded in facilitating travel to an unattuned beacon. That which you describe sounds considerably more difficult.
And dangerous. Every person who has attempted to teleport in this fashion has died in the process. They, however, did not have white aura sight at their disposal. I can use it to channel all the ether you can give me into the aetheryte. However, white aura sight cannot retain ether for an extended period of time, so we would need to infuse it immediately beforehand. Just so you know, I'd confidently give this plan better than even odds of success. And if the worst comes to worst, your people won't suffer.
Though it risked the lives of our best and brightest, we have not the time to seek other options. If the ethereal current still flows, we shall carry out Moonbreeder's plan.
That's the spirit. Let's roll the dice.
Instruments of our deliverance. The plan has been devised, and Minfilia would have it carried out without further delay. I have already informed Alphino of our plan to recreate the beacon in the manner Moonbreeder described. He agreed that, despite the inherent danger, it represents our only hope of success. He also said that he wished to meet with you at Snowcloak before proceeding. I expect you'll find him waiting for you when you arrive. I want you to know that I appreciate everything you've done on our behalf, Momo, and that I have faith you will return to us, as you always have. Oh, that's right. I meant to teleport into Ishgard proper, but that ain't happening. Yeah, I suppose I could have just... Well, I probably could have just gone straight. Oh well. Done is done. Trust in the power of white aura sight, Momo. And in me, of course. Good to see you, Momo. I was starting to wonder if you were having second thoughts. Captain Ilbert sends his regards, by the way. He attends to the interrogation of Aline Royale and Ulda even as we speak. But I shall not distract you from the matter at hand. We can discuss the ivy upon your return. I trust that, by which I mean to say, the others are waiting for us at the Aetherite. After you, Scion. Yita's standing still for once. Something's truly wrong. With the exception of Momo, you have to have white or blonde or silver hair to be a Scion, apparently. There, it's ready. Ha! It worked! I think. Try tuning to the Aetherite now. Feel for the current and try to locate the beacon. We've all done what we can, Momo. For now, let us withdraw. When your final preparations are complete, you must seek out the beacon we have created. If, by the grace of the 12, you arrive safely, you must stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva. Excuse me. I've a mind to join you, but Urianger made me promise I wouldn't. Apparently the thought of me becoming Shiva's thrall was too much to bear. As if I'd give her the chance. We cannot ignore the possibility that our actions have alerted Iceheart to our plans. Should that be the case, she may attempt to hasten the completion of the summoning ritual, and if she succeeds, you have little choice but to face Shiva in battle. Knowing little of this saint, I cannot say if your own strength will suffice, and so I would encourage you to call upon your allies. Some may have reservations about wagering their lives on the success of Mombrady's experiment, but others will surely agree that desperate times call for desperate measures. Ah, before you assemble your party, pray speak with that knight. I believe he has a message for you from Sir Emmerich. Madam, Sir Emmerich regrets that he could not be here in person and asks that I read to you this letter. Ishgard faces an unprecedented threat, yet in our hour of need, it was not her knights who stand poised to defend her. Momo Chikaimo, the warrior of light, savior of Eorzea, your deeds this day shall not be forgotten. Whereas others would flee, you choose to remain. Where others would falter, you may rise to the challenge. Where others would use their gifts for selfish ends, you wield yours in service to the greater cause. May Halone bless you with good fortune and see you safely home. Man, I completely forgot that this that this was done pre-Heavensward. That said, though, I'm not sure how many spoons I have left for tonight. Because this is not one of the ones we can do with NPCs. Well, I suppose let's go back to Mordona for a second. just a quick sec to fix my inventory up. I think I can turn... I think I can turn these in somewhere. I just don't remember where. Probably to... Actually, let me check with the Rorenas, folks. Oh wait, not you. That's not... That wasn't what I intended. Actually, this won't hurt. It's fine. Uh-oh. Okay, game, you scared me for a sec. Do I have any... Nope, I don't have any ventures, which means I can't send my folks out on trips. Wait. Oh, I've already got one over there. Great. Excuse me. What can I do while I'm waiting? This is gonna be proved, even if I did... I suppose I could unlock those other two missions. So, a few of the dungeons I did off stream because they were necessary for me basically to get to get promoted enough in the Grand Company. I did Halatali, which is so Halatali is actually one you can do unsynced at this point. So it was originally a holy place for the first Lalafell of Ravna Eorzea. The twisting labyrinth of natural caves which wind through this massive mesa was transformed by the Gladiators Guild into a series of training pits, animal pens, and the holding cells to accommodate the ever-growing popularity of Old Oz Coliseum. After the calamity, however, the location was abandoned, and those remaining in the pens left for dead. Not all of them, however, met that fate, and now the tunnels are rife with those who survived, as well as the tormented spirits of those who did not. I do plan on running through this one on stream so y'all can see it, but basically it's the remnants of, like, the animals that were there and used by the Colosseum and whatnot. I also had done Sunken Temple of Quarn, however you say it. Under the unforgiving Thanalan sun lies the ruins of an ancient temple half devoured by the shifting sands of the timeless desert. Though used by ancient Baladians as a place to worship the sun goddess, Azema, portions of this massive underground structure appear to be far older than the 6th Astral Era civilization. That, however, did not deter Baldanian sultans from each adding their own chambers to the original construct in a bid to achieve immortality through creation. In the subsequent years since the fall of Belladia, many an adventurer has sought to explore the temple's mysteries and perhaps return to the temples of treasure of a lost era, only to fall victim to one of the complex traps set to prevent that very thing from happening. That was a fun one, because it's like mostly underground, but also sometimes above ground. There were a couple of puzzles that I did really poorly at, and you're mostly fighting like beasties that were trapped in there, or a lot of the enemies were like guardians of the temple. And the other one I did was Smile Darkhold. And this is an Ishgardian one. Seeking to utilize an existing labyrinth of natural caves, the Ishgardian House of Smile began construction on their eponymous Darkhold near the end of the 6th Astral Era, intending it to serve as a refuge for those fleeing the flames of the Javanian horde. When the house's digging uncovered an entrance to the void, allowing an army of void sent into this realm, however, they immediately abandoned their plans and withdrew from the subterranean, sealing it off so that they might contain the otherworldly invaders within. Despite all this, the house is unwilling to relinquish its claim to the caves and believes that if they can be cleared of the void scent, they may still be able to see to their original plan brought to fruition. So basically, it's a really interesting structure, because like a chunk of it is like unfinished caves, but it's also like they actually did go in and like build some structure in and amongst the caves, and it's like some of it's like half crumbled and abandoned, but that was a really interesting one. Might as well. So this one is Halatali Hard, if I remember correctly. I'm just gonna go ahead and unlock them. This time's for fun. Hugabert has heard word of great deeds being done at Halatali, and would share with you the tales of triumph. An adventurer who can hold her own in battle. It just so happens I've gotten word of a new challenge for one of your talents. Requires a bit of travel and a dash of heroics, but it'd be worth your while. Eastern Thanaland's lovely this time of year. You've heard of the training grounds at Halatali, I'll wager. The place fell into disuse after the calamity, but some adventurer or another put it to rights. Bitch, that was me. Its owners aim to train gladiators and adventurers once more, just as in the old days. A little paint, a little mass burial, and now the place is ready to take on challengers. If you're at all keen on the notion, go and talk with my friend Arl down there. He'll get you into the door. In the door, rather. The Wrath of Karn. Few things can match the ire of a brother riled, and how much greater the anger when there are two of them. There's an industrious ant. An adventurer in need of a bit of business, if I'm not mistaken. The intel you'll want is Amagina and Son's mineral concern. Something's kicked it over good. They put out the word for adventurers. Have skill, will move fast, that kind of thing. Perfect for you, I'd warrant. The client? A bit of a handful, mighty aggressive, but nothing you can't handle. The twins. You'll find them at the Miners Guild. Talk to Sasaruka. He's the milder of the two. Well, this one will not require... Looks like I can just talk to that person to unlock Halatali, because that's not a story one.
Uppies.
Wait a sec. I don't think I ever clocked on that this was a chimney before. Because this building is built into the cliff. Huh. I guess I just didn't track that. Welcome to Halatali, where heroes are made. I'm Arl, and any friend of Hugabert's is a warmly regarded acquaintance of mine. Didn't mention he used to tread the sands, did he? Been trying to get that smooth-talking son of a Hydra to take up the gladiator trade again, but gets easily distracted, Hugabert does. Now, I'll wager he didn't put two and two together when he heard your name. You're the last Fafajoni over there was talking about, aren't you? I knew it. The liberator of Halatali herself. Thanks to you, we've made it nice and deadly in there again. Got to restore the Colosseum Games to what they were. It's no lap of luxury, I'll warn you. Place could use some more freshening up, and there are some lurking crawlies that need a good killing. But the brass blades are on that detail. So, what do you say? Care to experience the new and improved training grounds? We'd be honored to have the liberator of Halatali return as a challenger. So that is Halatali Hard. Yeah, let's go ahead and get this mission a little further. Oh, somebody just had a good time. That was the sound of somebody respawning after being murderized. Here for the job, are you? Speak with my brother here. I've got some thinking to do. our petition, have you? And you'll do as we ask? No questions asked? Great attitude. Now then, the situation's like this. No, this isn't right. I'll be damned if I put our sister's fate in a stranger's hands. I'm going myself. Oh, brilliant plan, brother. Go blundering into the sunken Temple of Gorn. That place is a death trap. What guarantee do we have that this adventurer can beat those traps? None, that's what. But you know better than any what these muscles are capable of. Epo Flame! Hello, hun. Thank you for popping in. I hope you're having a good night. What the hells do you mean you've beaten those traps already? Wait, you're the reasons Neneko's in trouble. I'm gonna end you, I swear. Calm yourself, brother. This adventurer's not to blame for what happened. Besides, she's perfect for the task. Let's start again, shall we? I am Susaruka, and this is my twin brother, Popakuli. As you may have gathered, we need you to mount a rescue mission in the sunken Temple of Gorn. After you defeated the temple's snares and traps, the place was officially open for research. The concern partnered with the Order of Naldthal to fund an expedition. I and the research team was led by none other than Neneko, our little sister. She's the one who wrote the book on the ruins of Sildi, the research to end all other research on the place. Nobody except her was gonna figure out that the Sildi and Ul'dah are both descended from the Biladian civilization. If y'all remember, this was actually discussed in detail during the final Hildebrand quest in A Realm Reborn. The sunken Temple of Gorn is the native rock. No way in Seven Hells was she not going to lead that expedition. Who comes tumbling in? A band of relic raiders, that's who. The greedy horse then set off a trap, and now our little sister is stuck in that sinking place. Oh shit! That's a little bit more urgent. Poxy bastards put Neneko in danger. If they aren't Tomberry Mints already, you can be sure I'll end them myself. And that's the situation as it stands. Talk to Bibi at the entrance of the temple, she'll let you in. You go and get Neneko out of there in one piece, you hear? Damn, I was almost done with that dialogue, too. I'm so glad this popped.
You should never have come here, warrior of light. I labor only to forge a lasting peace. A peace you would deny us out of ignorance and blind faith.
I'm atheist, babe.
No matter. If it is our fate to be at odds, then it is mine to strike you down.
Well, that wasn't great. Here I am, opening a soda.
Who gods and men have forsaken shall be the instruments of our own deliverance. Partake of my flesh. Fill this vessel with your light. Walk amongst your brothers and sisters once more. Oh, Saint Shiva, still the hatred within our hearts and bless us with eternal grace.
That feel when you turn yourself into a god. Those who have taken up the sword shall perish by the sword. power of ice to redden flesh, something, something. Oh wait, shoot. I did not get out of the thing in time. Rise to join the chorus, my brothers. Can you not step, well, can you get out of the bad so I can kill you? Thanks. Embrace the serenity. Renounce the hatred that consumes you. Aw, damn, I wanted to do a dance move and scatter them like dust in the wind. Damn it, we're gonna kill her before getting to the chorus. Oh shit, never mind. That was my bad. That was totally on me. I was standing in the bad. That went so fast. A little potato. I gotta say hi to the other potato. Damn, I got 3 player commendations, which usually means that a good chunk of those people were in a party.
Fool. Blind, bloody fool.
You could just use your words.
You, of all people, should understand the suffering war begets. That no sacrifice is too great if it brings an end to the violence. Mine is the righteous cause. You fight in a war you do not understand. A pawn of liars and schemers. And they are no less ignorant than you, following the creed of their fathers without question, never thinking to ask why. Trapped in a delusion of their own creation, and blind to the truth. Warrior of Light, redemption is not beyond us. We who walk before may lead those who walk after. Seek the Keeper of the Lake. See with eyes unclouded. Do not squander Mother's gift. Feel. Think.
And so the vessel withdraws, a predictable outcome. Nevertheless, La Habrea will be pleased. How unfortunate.
Whee! Wait, what the fuck is that? What are you? Is that one of the Fall Guys mounts? I don't know. By the 12, you're alive! I mean, of course you're alive. Why wouldn't you be? Iceheart did what? And you're certain about that, are you? Gervanians are skilled with glamours after all. Look, if you say that's what you saw, I believe you. It's just, I've never heard of a primal being summoned like that before. Are you sure you're not injured? Head trauma has been known to cause hallucinations, you see. No? Fair enough, I was only asking. Okay, yeah, I had a feeling. It's too brightly colored to be anything but. The road less traveled. Mumbreda remains unconvinced that you have not sustained a head injury. If you ask me, there's not to be gained from mulling over the implications of your story in the freezing cold. Let's save it for the Rising Stones, huh? I'll get everyone to meet us there. But before that, you'd best pay a visit to the Whitebrim Front and speak with Alphino. He's probably worried sick about you. That, or he's busy playing at politics with the Ishgardians. Either way, I'm sure he'll be delighted to see you hale and healthy. Speaking of which, you don't have a headache or anything, do you? No? Blurred vision? Oh, no reason. See you again soon. I actually was genuinely planning to do the Fall Guys event when it previously popped up, and then I got distracted, and by the time I went back to the game it was over again. So I'll have to try to remember it next time, I suppose. It seems to be coming up around on a regular basis, so... That said, I do rather think this might be it for me for tonight, just because, I'm flagging a little bit. Work kinda sucked all my energy out. But, thank you guys for joining me with this. I'm really glad that popped so I could actually punch a god before the stream was over. But, this was a ton of fun. Thank you guys for joining me as always. I really appreciate ya. Sunday I'm going to be doing some crime scene cleaner, and then next week we may or may not be back with some Wednesday with some Borderlands. Kit is currently at MagFest, so I'll have to confirm with him when he has the time and energy to reply. But yeah, I very much appreciate you guys. Good night, Shiva. I mean, sure. I mean, you know, if I had to pick a primal to be, I wouldn't mind being Shiva. I am, like, from the far north east of the US, and I do like the cold. Well, I easily tolerate the cold, so I think if I were going to choose any of the 14 summons, it might be Shiva. Now, who do you want to go ahead and say hi to tonight? Zinni's doing some Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Samhain's doing Threshold. GK is also doing Crossworlds. Deku is doing Banjo-Tooie. Orin Aloy is doing Repo, and so is Lunna. Oh, they're doing it together. Are they still online? I could go ahead and send it over to Lunna. Luna's a good bean. I just gotta remember to... my biggest thing is I have to type the name in correctly. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and send it over to Luna. Yeah, guys, again, thank you so much for joining me. This was a ton of fun. I probably could have pushed myself to be faster and gotten more done in MSQ, but what's the point in that, you know? Like, it might take me several years to get through this. It's already been a full year, actually. Momo is officially a year old now, as of a couple days ago. Woo! But yeah, guys, again, thank you again so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate you. Take care, stay safe, and until we talk again, have a good one. Let's go ahead and say hi to Luna.